Okay, so I have to make another video because I didn't realize my friends watched this, and my friend Brian texted me and he's like, "Hey, I just saw your video. I didn't realize the universe was dead. I can't talk right now, but I'm worried." So tell me. And I was like, "The universe is not dead. What are you talking about?" So I think that maybe my videos don't make a lot of sense. And so let's go back to like let's just talk about it from the beginning. So, in the spiritual community, there's a man named Daryl Inkin or whatever, and he channels an alien named Bashar. And so Bashar says all kinds of wonderful things, and people have been getting awakened by Daryl and Bashar for a long time. Really great, beautiful things. And then all of a sudden, all of these spiritual people started finding out about these old Sumerian texts that talk about this thing called the Anunnaki. And so the Anunnaki, I didn't know anything about it because what happened was that everyone stopped believing Bashar. All this, I mean, not everyone, but I was like, Anunnaki, Shmanunnaki. I was like, what are you talking about? And because it's a scary and gross idea, is what it is it's that there are these mean god aliens that people used to worship, gods or whatever. Like Bashar like makes him sound a little scary because he says aliens, but I guess anyone who's not in this planet is an alien. But I think it's a little silly to say that because like your angels are aliens, then your ancestors are like, you know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of planets that we've all come from at different times and stuff like that. So anyway, it's a little silly to even like specify alien, but these are just beings out there. We're all beings. We've all come from many different universes at different times, like our souls or whatever. So the universe is not dead. But after Bashar came out with that stuff about the Anunnaki and like it kind of got big, it felt really negative and stuff, and it was just not. It didn't feel good at all, and it's a really gross and scary thing to think that the story of the Anunnaki is that they were these gods that came to this planet and they created humans from clay, and then they used those humans just to kind of like for their own, for slavery, to make an underworld where they would have to suffer and like tear their twin flames apart and like watch them like, you know, all of this really bad stuff. They were like they clearly are overly mean towards women. I mean, all of the media and the culture and everything that I'm 35. And so all the stuff that we had to grow up with until now has been like, I'm sure pretty gross for everyone, even though we didn't know it back then. We were just like, la la la. So anyway, so all of that would be blamed on the Anunnaki because they're like the creators of the world, and they were in charge of everything basically. Like there was light and us light workers that came to the planet, and like we all worked together. But the story of that was a very upsetting and frightening story. Because nobody wants to believe that there's these scary gods that just came to this planet and created a bunch of humans, and then like it's a crazy idea. So, but then as time went by, I was studying the ancient texts of Sumeria because it's just something I found fun. I was reading the mythologies of Inanna. I was getting really into the gods and goddesses. I was figuring stuff out when I figured out that Enki, it said, was a god who told everyone, he like told people about the flood or whatever. So he's kind of like the main god from the Bible. And so then I knew that my friend Isis, the goddess, not just my friend, she's my mom, like my soul's mom, you know what I mean? So not mine, but like I don't know how I would have to go into like a conversations that I've had with Isis, and she was like, because I was like, are you my mom? And she's like, it's not really seen like these types of ways. And I was like, but when I was a spirit child, when I called back my child self soul piece, she took me to Isis and she called her mama, and Isis was like in fire and like dancing, And my child self was like, Mama. And it was so cool. And clearly I was like, yeah, my mom is cool. So anyways, Isis and Osiris and everything, they all came to the planet to try to rid it of the Anunnaki. But then with Enki, Isis was like, yeah, he isn't that bad. I don't know how to describe all this. Anyway, somehow I found out about Anu and his two sons, Enlil and Enki, as gods through the mythology, and it all started to make a lot of sense. We never have to talk about this again because I don't want to talk about this. I hate the feeling. I just hate the feeling of the Anunnaki. It's just like, it makes me so upset. So I think that's why I rush over it, and I kind of was like, oh my God, I just found out this one. Honestly, finding out that stuff is real makes me not need to look at anything spiritual ever again. I'm just like, get away from me. But anyway, so anyways, the universe is not dead, because what happened was we all found out about them, and then, like Isis was like, oh, like they're the Anunnaki. It's like, it was like a memory thing. Like the whole other side was under this like whole memory thing of confusion. And I feel like I shouldn't even be like stating this to the public, but I don't want people to think that anyway, it just turns out that all that weird stuff was true, and I really hate it. I hate having to say that. And so we're building a better world, and we're just going to make it so that it's never was true. Like, basically is what my goal is that it'll just never have been true. It's just ridiculous, crazy stuff, because it was really harmful and mean, and it wasn't nice, and the depth of it is quite intense, of how much like bad stuff happened from that. So this is where like a violin comes in, and the universe is now being reborn into the good energies, and we just have to believe in the good stuff. We're gonna see good stuff happening as time goes by now, because the Anunnaki have been banished. And yeah, that was all I was trying to say. But it's just really sad. I don't know if anyone else finds this depressing. I'm sure that everyone else just doesn't believe in it because it's so devastating to believe in something like that. Imagine that you truly believe that's really how this planet was going, and what happened, and who, like, it's really like an existential crisis, traumatizing to me. So anyway, but I'm doing okay. I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, I'll be fine because I have so many other belief systems and stuff. But yeah, we don't have to worry about the world or anything. It's just that I didn't know that we actually had to worry before either. And now I just feel upset and a little overwhelmed that there's just so much in the universe. It's just like upsetting to me. Why can't everything be simple? I don't know.